Hello and welcome to Goonie's World. My name is Goonie, also known as Colin, and I'm joined by Meanie, also known as Ryan.
What's up?
And Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean.
Hey, everybody.
So, this is part 2 of our Kids on Bike trilogy, or possibly longer series.
Could be a dodecatology.
Could be.
Yeah, sure.
That's probably not very likely.
Yeah, we'll see. These characters do like to bullshit a lot, so...
Yeah. I barely have to do anything as game master, because I just turn you guys loose, introduce some characters, and you just fucking take it. So
yeah, as we remarked to ourselves after we played our last episode, we didn't make a single roll because there was really nothing we needed to roll for. You know, nothing difficult, you know.
No, and Plunger's well past the point of having to make rolls for routine things. He's a veteran by now.
Yes.
So, we return now to Big Hooters Campground in the Taloa Pines National Forest, I believe, technically, although I think we've called it other things in possibly another game.
We started with National Forest, then on some episodes I think it's called State Forest, and but I guess we can go back to National Forest. That makes more sense if it's a national forest, I think. Just looking at a map of Northern California, it's all like national forests up there. So
yeah, that's for sure. And excuse me. And well, I mean, regardless of what we call it, it's clearly a place with a lot of trees and owls, of course, because this is where Owl Camp takes place every year. And of course, Dickie and Plunger, like to come every year and do owl watching and owl arts and crafts and practice their owl calls and so forth. And so you both are awakened bright and early in the morning by the sort of it's sort of a klaxon that it kind of sounds to let everybody know, it's time to get up and, get dressed and everything. And
can it be an owl call?
An owl call? Sure. Absolutely. I mean, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
It has to be an owl call. So I'm going to cue the the editor to cut in the sound of an owl call.
Can we get an owl call? Thank you. That's it right there. Thank you.
And
yeah, we have a professional editor that we pay good money that does all our stuff.
Oh,
he's worth every penny.
Damn right. And so you guys are kind of startled awake, as you are accustomed to, and young Elliot Grimby, the sort of enthusiastic young pup, also awakens. Morning, guys.
Rise and shine. Of course, I wish it was a more auspicious morning. I wonder if there's been any word about our missing friend, DJ.
Yeah, I had a really hard time sleeping, guys. Like, I was worried about him, I mean, I don't even know him, but, like, it's just, I don't know, the woods, man, it's scary,
Well,
I was hoping it was just a nightmare, but it doesn't look like our friend DJ is returned to his bunk.
Well, if I don't seem traumatized, it's only because I have complete control over my emotions and body rhythms. Because I am a master of Tai Chi, as you're well aware.
I am well aware.
Did you say Tai Chi?
Oh, yeah. I'll teach you all about it later when we have more time, young grasshopper.
Oh, that would be awesome, dude.
And the listener should know that Plunger does not know the first thing about Tai Chi, but he stands in his front yard and, does what he imagines to be Tai
sort
Chi
of flails around aimlessly.
Yeah, in slow motion.
Doing movements that he thinks look cool.
It's the only exercise he gets.
Well, it's better than...
or running from, monsters, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, I should ask then, does Plunger, step outside of the cabin here and practice his Tai Chi, or does he only do that at home?
No, I will, of course, do it, but I will take care of my morning ablutions first.
Of course.
Yes. And then I will do the Tai Chi, and I'll demonstrate the proper moves to the young grasshopper.
Wow. That is so cool, man. Like, how'd you learn that?
Well, it's many lengthy researches that I can't go into right now, but we don't have time for a whole session this morning. We're going to have to do an abbreviated session because I feel like we have a mystery to solve, gentlemen.
Yes, this disappearance has really put a damper on our normal activities that we'd be doing, and now we're going to have to investigate, although I still think we could maybe get in some activities. I will be looking out for a stick that I can whittle into an owl call, a whistle type thing, spoof some owls, and hopefully, also that will make a good alert system for us, so we don't have to pretend we can actually just blow our owl whistles if we don't,
Well, I think that for those of us who aren't already proficient at non-whistle-based owl calls, I think that would be a great idea, yes.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, if we make them too good, we might not even know that they're us, and we might think they're real owls, so maybe we'll skip that and just use our walkie-talkies. Our radio.
Yeah, radio. Make sure you say radio. And we should probably go talk to the camp counselors and see if there's been any word, although not seeing DJ here in our cabin this morning, obviously things have gone deeply amiss.
Yeah, he's got to be dead, right?
Don't say it. We never say it. He's now... In fact, we need to build some emotional distance here. Let's just think of him as a subject, and we're investigators from this point forward.
But he was Pale Dale's grandson.
I know what you're about to... I know where you're going with this. You've obviously heard the disturbing rumors about his grandfather's similar strange disappearance.
And who do you think found that body?
And who do you think solved that mystery?
What?
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, yes, it was us. And the best thing is, you can go back and listen to the whole thing. We have the whole thing recorded.
Yeah.
You have to let me borrow the tapes.
I will let you borrow the cassette on that one.
And I'm pushing record on my Fisher-Price
That's right.
cassette player right now because we need to document this investigation. We are definitely going to take credit for this because, we don't want the camp counselors taking credit. But let us find out. Well, we need to get some intel from the camp counselors and find out what they know.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But I think it's about time for breakfast, so...
Yeah.
Well, obviously breakfast, yes. I can't function without certain basic caloric intake.
Yeah.
At least it's better than what I'd be getting at Fat Camp. Excuse me, Stout Oaks.
It's so stupid. I named all these cabins after owls, but I can't remember which one's which.
Which ones are which?
We I know are in the Great Horned Owl.
Yeah, Horned Owl.
And
the best
the
one.
other.
Actually, you guys are in the Northern Spotted Owl cabin. Benny King is in the Great Horned Owl cabin.
I think you got that mixed up because...
No, I think you got it right. Because just now I said Northern, and then you said Horned, and I was like, oh, yeah, Horned. Because I just assumed I remembered it wrong, but maybe I remembered it right, and you remembered it wrong.
Yeah, well, that's how I have it written down anyway. So
I'm leaving all this in, by the way. I'm leaving all this
because
in.
That's fine.
Last episode, which I just listened to, I was saying when we were told our cabin names, I was like, Great Horned Owl, okay, not too bad, not as good as Spotted Owl, but
If I fucked it up last week, what it's supposed to be is that you guys are in the Northern Spotted Owl cabin. Benny King is in the Great Horned Owl cabin, and the dining hall is the Great Gray Owl Hall. I suppose that we should probably head off to the Great Gray Owl Hall for your breakfast.
Yes, but we won't linger over it. And if the camp master is in here, perhaps we can go visit his table and kill two birds with one stone, see what's going on. But first things first, let's see what's on the menu for this morning.
Yeah, so you get in line, and again, it's just a big, long cafeteria line. You come down with your tray, and they slap some biscuits on and some gravy, if you want that, of course. And,
yes.
And one of the this kind of stout-looking older lady, has a steam table pan with bacon and sausage and stuff. And
I'll have that too.
Bacon and sausage,
yes.
Both, she says.
Yes.
And, yes, gives you both, and if Dickie wants as well. There's like a big ass. The next stations, there's this like big ass pan full of like rubbery looking like way overcooked scrambled eggs.
Of course, yes. Pile it on.
Which
Thank you.
Dump on there as well. And you guys go on your way to sit down. You don't see Benny King anywhere, although even if you did, I don't know that you would necessarily choose to sit with him. You do spot Dickie, I would say in particular, spots this very, very attractive sort of Latina-looking girl about your age sitting by herself. You could certainly choose to sit with her.
Target acquired.
And strike up a conversation if you were so inclined, or sit by yourself with Plunger, whatever you guys want to do.
Well, the thing is, I will not be engaging in any Al Camp romance because, as you are both well aware, I have a romantic correspondence with actress Kim Fields, who plays Tootie on The Facts of Life. And
yes.
I have to be faithful to that.
You have to be faithful. Yeah. I'm more of a wild man, and I warned you, Plunger, that this summer is going to be different. The women are now also going to be occupying my mind and my time, and I've got my eye on this Latina lady, and I might just go. I'm not going to abandon our mission, of course.
No, you better not, because if you're not back soon, I'm going to come over and say that your mother called and wants to know if Sicky Dicky brought his diarrhea medication.
Better not.
You've got 10 minutes, Romeo.
Yeah, I'll just swing by and see.
Watch this, Elliot. This should be quite a thorough show. Keep your ears open.
Watch and learn, little boy.
So
he will go over there. Yeah.
This young lady sitting by. Are you going to sit down like across from her or next to her, or are you going to even sit down? You're just going to start talking. What's your plan?
I will I'll ask her once I get in range. Is this seat taken? And sit across from her if I can.
No, I don't say that. I was just kidding.
I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry.
That's too good.
Yes, you're free. Because you're going to have a British accent now. No. Yeah, you can sit there if you want to. Hi.
No, don't mind if I do. Dickie's the name. Are you new here at Owl Camp?
It's my first year. First year here. Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, well, if you want someone to show you the ropes, I'm the man for the job. I've been here too many times to count, and I'm going to be pretty soon, because I'm pretty old. I'm going to be a camp counselor here. So I'm almost practically a camp counselor now. I mean, sometimes the camp counselors come to me and ask how to do stuff, like just crafts and how to find certain owls. Some owls, like the long-eared owl, also known as cat owl, is very hard to spot because of camouflage. It blends so well into the trunk of trees.
Well, you seem to know a lot about owls. Yeah, as I said, this is my first year. So and I don't really know anything about Owl Camp. Or about owls in particular? Do you often?
I often solve mysteries and crimes and that sort of thing? The answer is yes.
Actually, I was going to ask if it was normal for you to show newcomers the ropes.
Oh, well, this summer's a little bit different, yeah. Normally, me and my friend Plunger, he's over there. I'll point to Plunger.
She gives you a little wave.
I'll give her a withering half smile.
We like to stick to ourselves because we're usually involved in all kinds of undercover operations, but...
I'm sure you are.
Yes, but, yeah, I just saw you sitting here by yourself, and I thought maybe you looked a little lost, and, you could tag along with us if you wanted to. We got this other little boy that's tagging along as well. We're showing him some things. And, we also got some side projects happening. We might be able to break away from the group activities, sneak away and investigate some stuff. Because I don't know if you're aware, but there's some mysterious things going on in these woods. And just last night, one of our cabin mates completely disappeared. And so I don't know if you heard anything about that.
Well, I had heard a rumor, something. One of the campers had a dot made the post or the pre-lights out roll call.
Yeah, just disappeared into the night, and we have some theories. I don't want to lay them out just yet. I don't want to frighten you, but stick with us if you want to know more. What was your name?
Maria.
Okay, Maria. I've got to get back to Plunger.
Plunger's pointing at his watch right now.
And he mouths, "I'm coming." And so, yes, duty calls. So, come find us if you're interested.
Sounds
Check
good.
you later.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Dickie. And nice to meet you too, Plunger, she says. And
As
gives
well,
you
as
another
well,
way.
madam.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have to make any rolls for that either.
Well, I have a pretty solid understanding of what she's going to think about any... I mean, you didn't actually mention, like, vampires or anything, so she didn't laugh at you. But, you know, you talked about solving mysteries and shit, and she's kind of like, oh, really? Okay. You know?
Oh, she's another Tracy. I mean, it's not a vampire, hopefully.
I'm not sure Tracy was a vampire either. I think that you guys just made
Well,
Well, so you say. So you say. The conspiracy by the game master to leave doubt in our minds as to whether or not Tracy is in fact. But whatever she is, are you done now? Are you satisfied? Do you think you're?
yeah, I told her I didn't give her any sensitive information. I just told her enough to get her intrigued. And, you know, I hope you don't mind, but I think she might be joining us later.
Oh, no one's greenlighting any new memberships just yet. So let's not get hysterical.
I told her I'd just show her around, you know. Doesn't have to be a formal, you know, membership or anything.
Well, when she's being eaten by the owlbear, I want you to remember that you're the one that brought her into this.
No, I will protect her, of course.
And you guys are, I mean, I assume you were, like, you know, eating while you were talking with Maria, and now you've come back, and, you know, you're sort of finishing up your breakfast. And just as you're getting done, and just as you mentioned her getting eaten by the owlbear, you hear a voice say, "Oh, you still talking about that owlbear?"
Well, here he is, the bloodsucker himself.
Yes, out in the daylight amongst the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Walking in the day.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Okay, that's a pretty,
I love that song.
I'll give you that one. I don't love that song, but that's very funny. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, that, Susanna Huffs. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You boys don't like the Bengals.
No, I do. I am a growing boy. That's all I'll say.
I suppose that when they are recording songs written by Prince, I can respect them. But Walk Like an Egyptian is an insipid, petty pop number, and it's just not my kind of thing. Nor is most rock and roll, frankly.
Hubba hubba is all I'm saying.
Well, now I'm sorry about your friend DJ. I understand that he didn't make it to bed last night.
All right, you better tell us what you know, right now.
Well, I just know what I heard.
Spill the beans.
I know what I heard.
Just heard. Well, how did you hear so fast if you weren't the person responsible?
He kind of picks up a sausage link between two fingers and squints at you and takes a bite out of it and starts chewing.
Blood sausage, I presume?
I think that's just, I get a little bit of pepper and sage. No blood, though. But,
no garlic.
You boys and your crazy stories.
Well, we might have hinted at something last night. I don't know if you picked up on it. My associate, Dr. Otto von Hammer,
Yes.
and me, I am called Bot Boy, but I'm not entirely boy, and not entirely bot either. There's a little extra.
So you're kind of like RoboCop.
No, I am more like a cybernetic organism, a living tissue over an a metal endoskeleton.
So, isn't that like a Terminator there? Something like that? What you doing, a Schwarzenegger right there?
Oh, you got me. I was hoping you hadn't seen that, and then I would look like a Terminator. But, I'm not quite a Terminator because I'm a good robot. And so, a little bit different.
Well, I got a funny kind of feeling that
But I
we're
have
going
a
to find
taste.
out that Terminators are good sometimes.
Oh, no, they're not.
No, I agree with Ben. It's the inevitable evolution of the franchise. You just wait and see.
I think there's not going to be a franchise. I think it's a dead-end series. I think it's going to go nowhere. It's a self-contained movie. It's perfection.
Well, I'm just thankful that they decided not to do any sequels to Highlander.
Oh, no, I think something great is coming for that.
Well, there should be only one.
Well, Dickie, I think you and I can agree that it's a James Cameron masterpiece.
Yes. I was just about to say that, like you, I have acquired a taste for certain delicacies that are scarlet in color.
He gets kind of a puzzled look on his face.
Oh, I don't think I was being very clear.
He's not talking about strawberries.
Yes. Not raspberries. Not red Jello.
Oh, I think I understand where this is going, he says with
A little bit more liquid form than Jello.
like a red velvet cake Slurpee.
Well, I do like to slurp it down.
All right, listen, bloodfuckers. The rest of us don't want to hear about your blood slurpees, okay? So, and as far as me, I am based on something very specific, which is the great actor Peter Cushing in the Hammer films, in which he has battled the Prince of Darkness. I, Dr. Otto von Hammer, continue that fight.
But you don't fight me because you know I'm a good
Yes, he's a good boy. He's a good
I'm
bot boy.
good bot vamp boy. And but I don't care for bad vamps. So you better tell us whether you're a good vamp or a bad vamp.
Well, I'm only the best.
The best at being bad, or
Dickie, he's being purposely ambiguous to toy with us. Can't you see it?
and when I say bad, I don't mean bad in the Michael Jackson sense. I mean naughty.
Well, I can be naughty from time to time, Dickie.
Okay. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Alright, so you're saying you don't know anything about this disappearance of DJ?
Well, I don't, but... And he's just about to say something when a voice from behind you guys, a female voice, calls out. And just refresh my memory, Plunger. Your name is Homer Hines, is that right?
That's my name for... Yes, that's the kid I traded places with. Homer Hines is actually in my place at Husky Oaks.
Yes. Yeah, so this voice says, Hines Newton, Grimby, is it? Yes, Heinz Newton Grimby. You are needed. Mr. Combs would like to speak with you, please, in the administrative building.
Yes, we're very important people. You will definitely want to speak with us.
Yes,
Thank you.
Come with me, please, gentlemen.
Yes. We'll see you later, Mr. King, and the dance will continue.
To be continued.
All right, boys. Have fun talking to Mr. Combs. And this lady whose name tag identifies her as Mrs. Fields, for whatever that's worth, leads you up a small, hill to this kind of, they're all kind of log cabin-y looking, but this one's, kind of more office-like. And she leads you inside and seats you on some chairs outside an office, which the door is closed, and but the placard outside on the wall says Mr. Combs. She says, "Yes, just wait here. Mr. Combs will see you shortly." And she turns and walks out. You guys, I don't think we're in trouble, are we?
No.
Just play it cool. We did nothing wrong.
But we might hear some bad news. And if something bad have happened to our friend, it's only natural that they would want to ask us some questions, perhaps.
Yes, they might actually hire us to find out what happened if they don't know. So, yeah, you might learn a thing or two.
Well, the door, after a couple just brief minutes, the door opens, and this kind of short, bald guy, kind of stout, you could almost imagine Plunger. This could look like Plunger in 40 years or something, right? And he steps out and says, yes, come in, young man. We need to speak.
Very well.
Yes, sir.
And he sits behind a desk that's got, various personal effects on it. And he has you sit in these chairs across from him. And he says, so, I've been on the phone with DJ's parents to, inform them that he did not, was not present for roll call prior to lights out. And they have not. Unfortunately, I was hoping that perhaps he had gotten a ride home or just didn't feel like staying for whatever reason, but that seems to not be the case. They have not heard from him, as it turns out. And it has, not been a full day yet, but I think it would be prudent probably to notify, Jupiter Springs PD and the Highway Patrol.
FBI, CIA.
Well, I don't think it's quite a, quite a national case just yet.
Just yet.
No, there's no need for you to contact the FBI. I have several backdoor channels into the Bureau, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, he's got contacts.
Well, hopefully that won't become necessary because the young man will simply turn up. However, I felt it would be wise of me to inquire with the three of you, being his bunkmates, as to whether he had said anything unusual or acted strangely in any way, or...
Not at all. In fact, the only thing out of the ordinary was that he preferred to forego the campfire festivities. I presume this was because he was very much into the epic novel Fellowship of the Ring, which he was reading. But no, he didn't seem strangely behaved at all. Do you think so, Dickie?
Oh, no, I didn't see any signs of interference. I saw no bite marks of any kind. He seemed to be just engrossed in that book of his. He we were told was not much of a talker to begin with, so he pretty much stayed to himself. We did manage to get some information about him, that he is the grandson of Dale Johnston, also known as Pale Dale, and but nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Mr. Combs, I'm just going to ask you flat out. What do you know about the owlbear?
Pardon me?
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
What I'm sorry, Hines. What
Listen, there's no need to cover it up any longer. I have very good evidence to suggest that an owlbear is loose in the vicinity. It's very possible that the owlbear could have made away with our friend. It's also very possible that there could be vampiric activity in the area.
Mr. No, I'm starting to do fucking Benny again. Mr. Hines, I'm not sure where this is coming from. Owl bear? What exactly is an owl bear?
Well, if you don't know, I'm afraid we're all going to find out soon enough. But it's clear that you're not open-minded in this area, so I will withdraw the line of questioning.
Well, yeah, I apologize for my friend. He does know some more than most people about certain things, so he is convinced of the owlbear's existence, and I'm on the fence, but I don't want to cover up, though, Mr. Combs. So if you know something, it's best to just let us know now, because we will get to the bottom of what's going on.
I think the reason that we're here is because you don't know. You don't know what happened to DJ, do you, Mr. Combs?
No, I don't. I wish I did, to be perfectly honest. I just have a feeling that you guys know more than you're telling me.
Well, in answer to your question, yes, we will be happy to investigate this for you.
Yes. I was just about ready to ask, but I could tell you were just waiting to hire us on as investigators, and we accept, and don't need to worry. We will solve this case.
Well, I did contact my friend, Detective Dwayne, and he's...
Officer Dwayne.
He's a detective now, though.
Yes, a detective Dwayne, okay.
Yeah, he's cool, but he's hopelessly naive. He's going to be outclassed.
Yes, I'm afraid you're not going to get much help. I mean, he's a super nice guy and all, but if you really want to solve this, you're looking at the only two people who can solve this case.
But nevertheless, Detective Dwayne, I'm sure, will render some assistance, so thank you.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you kids want to, conduct your investigation, just be sure not to, try not to skip any important camp activities. You're going to want to have your construction paper owls to hang on the fridge.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, I would not skip out on those activities. Swimming and hiking and owl watching, and you'll be pleased to know I'm making great progress on this owl collar that I've been whittling.
He's also making great progress on a young Latina. Now, can we get on?
That is private information.
We should probably get on with our investigation.
But it's true.
So is there anything at all, Mr. Combs, that we do know? Other than the fact that he just wasn't there for the pre-bed down roll call?
No, I'm afraid that's all I know. That's kind of why we're getting Dwayne involved. I mean, he's kind of doing it on a off-duty basis for the time being. But obviously, we'll get on-duty law enforcement involved if we feel that becomes necessary. We definitely don't want a bunch of marked police cars filling up the parking area.
Yes, what would the neighbors say?
Better to stay undercover. I agree.
Yes.
And if you could send us the files you have on DJ, past, if he's got a criminal record, medical records would help too, possibly. I don't have access to any of that information, but I can tell you we'll get it from Detective Dwayne.
That I've been the director of Big Hooters Campground for 24 seasons, and I have yet to run across any owl bears. Just letting you know.
Well, do you from what I know, what Plunger has told me, the footprints can be a little confusing because they're not quite owl prints and they're not quite bear prints, so you wouldn't know what you're looking at. We'll keep an eye out. We'll see.
All right. Well, gentlemen, before you go, I just wanted to make sure DJ didn't say anything about where he might be going or why or anything like that, as far as you can remember.
Well, honestly, not that I can remember.
No, I don't think so.
I remember I had a conversation with him when he was saying he wasn't going to come to the campfire.
Yeah, and I don't think he was, I'm sorry to inform you, I don't think he was here just for the owls, though, because after questioning him, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't know a barn owl from a barred owl, so I think he might have had an ulterior motive for coming here, but of course we will find out.
Well, very well, gentlemen. Well, thank you for your time, and I'm sure Detective Dwayne will want to talk to you when he does finally get here. But I guess that's really all I have. If you can think of anything that he may have said or done to indicate where he might be, just make sure to tell somebody. Let me know.
Yes, of course.
Of course. We'll submit a full report of our investigation.
All right. Well, go out and have fun, campers.
And so it begins.
And so he turns you loose, and it is just getting to be the sort of organized arts and crafts time. And you can choose. They've got like different projects. Making like owls out of construction paper or like popsicle sticks. Or
well, I'm going to be working in construction paper with also the toothpicks and.
We need to confiscate some supplies. Toothpicks will come in handy for making traps.
You work on that because
yes.
if this model is going to be aerodynamically sound, I need to put all my concentration in. Could you please pass over some more of the orange construction paper, please?
You make a decoy, Al.
That's exactly what I'm doing. And it's going to be like ridiculously complex, like a little Archimedes owl made out of construction paper and I'm willing to roll for it because I really want it to fly like an awesome glider,
like a paper airplane.
Yeah, but like a really sophisticated, advanced paper airplane.
Alrighty.
And I'd love to call that a brains roll, because that's my strong suit. That's where my D20 is in brains.
Yes, I think brains would be perfectly appropriate. And let's say let's make that a 5. You need pretty good odds there.
Okay.
He's a smart guy.
Well, I have a 10.
Well, then you do indeed make a quite elaborate owl out of this. We say construction paper and
Yeah, and what do you call it?
I think there's probably some owl feathers, maybe, you know.
No,
some
that,
actual owl feathers.
No, I'm gonna
or
make
just
it up.
make some feathers out of construction.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. They're feathered construction paper. That's what I was doing all that quick scissors work with earlier. And I'm losing the popsicle sticks, of course, forming the main, and then the feather work is done with the toothpicks as well, giving it a nice rigid frame for far distance gliding.
all right. Well, it will glide like the greatest paper airplane of all time. And what's Dickie doing? He's making traps.
Well, he's stealing toothpicks and glue, and you might as well get some popsicle sticks. Yeah, just anything that, any of the stuff that we're working with, just for future trap making.
So he's not actually making anything right now. He's just confiscating supplies.
Yeah, well, he's probably gonna pretend like, actually, if I could recon and say that when we left our cabin, because I wanted to put on a long sleeve shirt so I could put that robot claw, kind of hide it in my sleeve, you know, to where the sleeve comes over my hand, my actual hand, and it's all you see is like a long ass robot arm sticking out.
Okay.
And he's gonna just insist on doing everything with that claw. So he's trying to build some sort of construction out of, but using his real hand and his robot hand.
The considerably less dexterous
Yeah.
claw hand, robot claw hand.
You've got to get good at this.
And what is he making?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll build a trap to place in the ground. You know, he'll get some like a flat surface, and then he'll start sticking the toothpicks on them, sticking up. So, you know, he can put that in like a hole somewhere, so someone will step on the toothpicks.
Yeah, that was actually the first thing that came to my mind as well. Almost what I was kind of thinking would be like, like make a cross or an X out of the popsicle sticks for stability, yeah. And then like,
well, also for vampire keeping away. Of course, we need to make the popsicle sticks into.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And you never know. I mean, maybe little teeny tiny stakes in the foot will do it for a vampire.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised that Plunger doesn't already have a crucifix in his backpack. Damn, I forgot the crucifix.
Well, I mean, it would make sense just because he's so superstitious about vampires, but he never seemed to be very superstitious about sort of religion. He never seemed to be very religious, or...
No, he's not. He's not. Yeah, the problem is that those things only work when you have faith. They don't work, as we learned in Fright Night, the documentary film that was misinterpreted as a teen horror flick.
Well, and just as a reminder, vampires, especially Egyptian daywalkers, came on the scene well before Christianity, although they are affected by power of faith.
And the Ankh.
But yes, the Ankh is close enough as well as to a crucifix. So yes, these are very ancient creatures.
Yes, of course, both symbols are, of course, rooted in early extraterrestrial technology, but that is a whole nother story that we don't need to get into.
So you guys complete your...
I don't even know who we were talking to. We're talking to ourselves, but we already know all this stuff.
Just role-playing, man. It's all good.
Well, hopefully there's someone there that, can hear all this.
If Elliot, the young grasshopper, is
Yeah, I'm
training
sure
has
he's
begun.
Taking
Yeah, and
it
he's
all
just...
in.
I just imagine him sitting there, and he's like, cutting out pieces of construction paper and various, owl shapes to make, like, wings and feet and stuff, but he's just, like, staring at you guys, kind of with his mouth, like, half open, just, like...
So much knowledge.
As you're just rattling all this stuff off. How do you guys know so much?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Many years of research. Listen, this is your first mission, but you don't make a move without us, you understand? You just stick by us, and you'll be safe.
Yeah, I don't want to get eaten by that bear owl thing, though, oh, gosh.
Well, I have some advice for you. Take some green paper and some black paper, a little brown paper, and make yourself some camo. You can make some like headbands, or you can even try to make some like a sort of a cape thing or something. You can, you just see what you can come up with.
If you can somehow get your hands on an ordinary paper shopping bag, you turn it upside down. You cut a slit up one side and then a hole for your head in the top. It can be fashioned into a vest, you see. And then all over that, you put the camouflage.
Yes. Of course.
So you put... Oh, the slits are for, like, your arms on the side? Like your
Yes,
shoulders?
yeah. If you put some armholes and head holes, and then you could do it without it as a vest. But I find it easier, due to my physiognomy, to have a slit and open in the front to relieve my my torso muscles.
Gotta breathe.
So, he just makes... unless you guys specifically instruct him to do something, he's just going to make, like an owl for his mom to magnet to the fridge or something,
What even kind of owl is that? It doesn't even look like any kind of owl that I've ever seen.
It's a northwestern Hooters owl.
No such thing. You are exposed.
All right, now, Dickie, be
I
gentle.
thought you were going to say a northern pygmy owl, but then you said northwestern hooter, whatever. Nope. No, sir, that's wrong.
I'm sure he meant the pygmy owl.
Yeah, well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
Yeah, you guys, I still don't really know. My owls, I need to get a list of owls.
I've got the owl identification book right here. You may look upon it from time to time.
Oh, it's like the owl cyclopedia.
Oh,
Yes,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes, it's got illustrated pictures of owls in this region, and of course it leaves out some other cryptids that we know for sure are in these woods.
Such as the owlbear.
Such as the owlbear. Well, I should say that Plunger knows for sure are in these woods.
Yes, well,
I'll be convinced when I see it, just like I was convinced when we saw the creature, the alien, and I just wanted to show you a little something. Since you're on good behavior, Elliot, I have here some probably the only clear evidence, clear proof of an alien spaceship. And so he'll give him the Polaroids that we took of the spaceship flying away, which is just, of course, like some out of focus.
Yeah, it looks
lights.
like every other UFO
It could
photo.
be, yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now you know we mean business.
Whoa, so you say that thing that looks kind of like a plane or something is like, that's a spaceship?
Well, there's a very, very vague resemblance to a plane, but yeah, that's a spaceship, all right. We saw it come out of the cave system, Sabertooth cave system, shot right out of there and went back to its home planet.
Yes, and it's not a plane. That thing is to a plane as a nuclear submarine is to a canoe.
Well, I'm just saying, right? Like, it's just a light in the sky, and when I see lights in the skies, most of the time they're planes.
Yeah, but these lights are very special lights. They're not just those type of blinking lights you would see on a plane for regulation. These lights are more practical. I think they're actually lights that are a byproduct of the propulsion system, so it produces a plasma glow, which can be perceived as a light. They also have light technology they use to, perform, like, shoot tractor beams and all that.
Well, I was kind of thinking like maybe, like interstellar navigation lights.
Yes, that is a theory, yes.
Yes, now you're thinking. See, now you're thinking.
They are probably members of a sort of galactic,
obviously some sort of galactic federation.
Obviously. And they have their own regulations traveling through outer space, and they probably are told to not interfere, but some of them obviously do.
Well, speaking of interfering, I think that it's about time that we sat down and figure out how we can interfere with someone's plans to do away with our friend DJ.
Yes, let's see if we can sneak away.
Well, I don't know when Detective Dwayne is coming by, but I wouldn't mind to string Detective Dwayne along a little bit. You know how he likes kids, it makes him feel good about himself. You know, we could manipulate him and get a lot of good information.
Yeah, he has no skills at all, no spycraft skills whatsoever.
Well, look, he's a nice guy, and I don't mean to say anything bad about like the officers who go do the DARE programs at our school, but it's not like those are the same guys they send out to catch terrorists. You know what I mean?
Yes, I have learned the dangers of jazz cabbage, but but I certainly had to learn all the real stuff myself. You know,
I don't need to imbibe jazz cabbage because my office is right over my brother's band's practice space, so I've basically been getting it by osmosis my entire life since I've developed an immunity.
Oh, that's good. I don't want you to be affected, because you've got to have a clear mind. You know.
Oh, this mind, I will not let anything happen to this mind. It's a precious mind. It's a gift of the human race, and it must be preserved. At least that's what my grandma told me.
So what did Dickie do? First of all, how many of these like little spike traps did he make, and what did he do with them?
I think he probably just made like 3 or so, and he's gonna put them in his backpack.
So, arts and crafts time is over, basically, at this point, and everybody's kind of dispersing, and some kids going back to their cabins to, play games or read or do whatever. But basically, the period between now and lunch is essentially, free time. So, if there were any things you wanted to do in terms of either owl camp activities, like, I guess it's probably not the easiest thing to spot an owl, during the day because they're, not necessarily active. So any investigative type stuff you want to do, or any camp related stuff you want to do, now would be the time to embark upon that.
Okay.
Well, the first thing to do is to look for tracks around our cabin. I do distinctly remember that I believe that DJ was wearing like about a 5 or 6 Reebok, I believe. And as you're well aware, I'm familiar with the shoe patterns of most major sneakers, so we could see if we could find any tracks. Although people have been going back and forth all day, we really should have done this at dawn. I don't know where my head is.
I'm going to say go ahead and make a brains roll with a success, or rather a difficulty of, let's make it 10.
Come on, Gray Matter, don't fail me now. I have a 12 exactly, the good old dodecahedron.
I failed, so I'm going to take an adversity token.
Yes, don't forget those.
Yes.
I've got some pretty good strengths, too, that I could power with, but I'm going to save them for when I really need them.
So, because you succeeded on that roll, I'm going to, what would you say, what size Reebok?
I just guess, I'm just actually totally made that up, but I was guessing a size 5. Seems about right.
Actually, you think
5 or
it's
6.
You think it's more like an 8. He's kind of a big kid.
No, he's a big
feet.
Okay.
And a little older than you guys.
Well, he's grown up on Pale Dale, so he's... Yeah.
But yeah, that is, in fact, you do remember seeing that, and you can use that information, potentially, you think, to possibly track him down, or figure out what direction he went anyway.
Well, I'm going to get out my my magnifying glass.
Yes.
Actually, I forgot to pack it. I forgot to pack my magnifying glass.
Yeah, I didn't actually put that in my backpack.
Well, that's all right.
But if I get another adversity token, I have the strength prepared, which, if I spend 2 tokens, I get to just, magically have one of some sort of common item.
Right.
So maybe we might, come up with a magnifying glass later. But I'm going to get out my compass. At least I have that. And get my binoculars, have that kind of hanging around my neck.
All right. Sounds good. Now, Plunger doesn't actually have a magnifying glass, is that right?
No, I don't. But I do have very thick glasses.
Fair enough. All right, so Dickie gets out his binoculars. Now, were you guys going back in the direction of the cabin to look for, Reebok prints? Tracks?
Yeah. We're starting at the door, looking around, seeing where they go, seeing how old they are.
All right. I suppose this should probably be brains rolls again, where both of you put your D20s.
Yeah.
I think that's
I rolled
probably
a 1.
Probably a 10 again.
I rolled a 15.
Well, since I rolled a 1, now I do have 2 tokens, so if we really wanted a magnifying glass, I could produce one, but I don't think, unless we
just
can't find a track at all,
Just save it.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, Plunger rolled sufficiently well that, you do find... and granted, now, you find traces of what you are 100% certain. Because, like, the ground here, and I don't know if you've been in, the forests of Northern California or not, but the ground isn't, like, covered in, grass and stuff. It's kind of dirt. I mean, and there are plants and stuff, but it's a lot of... I mean, the canopy is so thick in a lot of places that there's just not enough light really gets down, to like grow grass and stuff. So in the dirt, you are able to find several traces that appear to be the size 8 Reeboks that you saw DJ wearing. But, of course, they've been stepped on by other people. I mean, your own footprints have crossed them and stuff as you've walked to and from the cabin. And it's kind of hard to get a strong sense of what direction he might have been going, or when they might have been, simply because they're so mashed up. Now, you think that if you found some footprints in a less trafficked area, it would be a lot easier to keep track of them, because it wouldn't be all have like 27 other footprints smushed on them. But you succeeded, I would say, well enough that you get a vague gist of the general direction. And so so like 180 degrees right from the front door, probably even less than that, probably more like 45 degrees. Wait, was that 45 degrees? Am I thinking? I'm shitty at geometry. But yeah, there's like, I guess, be 90. Yeah, be 90. That's what I'm thinking of. 90 degrees from sort of the front door. You if you sort of fan out further away and start looking again, you think you're likely to find more distinct tracks that might give you a pretty good sense of direction.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's go check that out then. We're narrowing this down. All right, stop dawdling around, Elliot. Come here, this way. We're going this way now.
Yeah, you get your head out of the clouds and onto the ground.
Did you find something?
Yes. We're going over this way. I believe that we can get a better indication from in this area. So observe how we do
I
this.
think it's this area here.
Trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, my glasses are almost as thick as your glasses.
I mean,
or maybe even thicker, I don't know.
I don't even see what you're talking about, but okay, yeah, let's, I'll follow you, let's go.
Soon you will begin to see things that the other people, the normals, do not see. And then you will know you're truly one of us.
But you've got a long ways to go.
So you've got a fair amount of forest floor to search here, and you're probably
Sorry, go ahead.
50 yards from your cabin.
I just had an idea. What if Benny King is a vampire? Then he might have a really good sense of smell, and he might be able to track DJ. So we maybe want to bring him with us if we can find him.
It's an interesting thought. What do you think?
Maybe.
What do you think, Elliot? You should be allowed to have a little input on this.
You really think... I mean, for one thing, you guys seem to think that Benny is a vampire, but also you seem to think that he is responsible for DJ going missing. So do you really think that if either or both of those things are true, that he will even want to help?
Let me tell you exactly what I think. I do not actually believe that Ben King is a vampire. I believe he is a very committed LARPer who is messing with us psychologically. And so when I talk to him about these things and pretend to believe that he is a vampire, I'm merely messing with him psychologically.
And we're trying to gauge his reaction.
But one thing I do know is I recognize the mirror image of a brilliant mind. And it certainly would not hurt to have his skills brought into this.
And if he really did have a mirror image, that means he's not a vampire.
Well, and also, if if he is somehow involved in this, then perhaps he will give something away. Perhaps he'll feel obligated to come along with us to allay suspicions, but then accidentally give something away.
Yeah, because these types, they can't keep secrets. They divulge them whether they want to or not.
You see, Elliot, you always have to stay 2 or 3 steps ahead of your opponent, and you have to map out in your mind every conceivable action they might take. It's called game theory.
Game theory. Huh.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with games, but it's frequently useful in playing games.
Oh yeah, I use plenty of game theory in my winning strategies.
So, it looks like we have at least a couple options of what to do next, and of course, at some point, you're pretty sure that Detective Dwayne is going to show up and come calling for you. So it sounds like we are going to be potentially looking for Benny, trying to engage his help in this investigation. Although I'm not entirely clear on whether you're going to continue this print search before that or not, but
first immediate goal is to search these prints right now. And then if we have anywhere to go, then we'll go talk to Ben. I think that's the best approach.
That's fine. Let's see what we can find out.
All right, well, make another intelligence rolls.
Intelligence.
10 being the target.
Don't fail me now, intelligence. I've been doing well so far. I'm going to use the same dice.
16.
An 18!
So that's going to be 2 successes. So yes, you do pick up DJ's shoes, sort of heading deeper into the forest. But you also notice that it appears that he was walking next to someone.
Jesus.
Who was wearing...
Oh, wait. And there's only one set of footprints.
Yes, I've seen the
that.
plaque on your mother's living room wall, yes.
Well, okay. But more likely, this person led him to his demise.
Yes, that's right. I haven't heard of 2 people missing. Let's see.
No, this is a forest creature. This came out of the forest.
Well, let's take a look at these prints, because as you know, I'm familiar with many types of shoes.
Yes, and the shoes that appear to be walking next to DJ's, kind of heading deeper into the woods, are more of... I mean, they're a larger size, slightly, than yours. They're probably closer to his, maybe even a little bigger than his, but they look like to be some fairly rugged hiking boot.
So monsters are now donning hiking boots to fool humans.
Well, does this look like an adult foot or like a teen foot? Someone a lot older than us, or maybe just a 5 or 2?
Young adult, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, so DJ and Benny are both... DJ's a little bit older than you, and Benny's a little bit older than DJ. And you haven't paid a lot of attention to Benny's feet, but it could be approximately his size. But you haven't been observant, as far as I'm aware, of whether or not he has ever worn hiking boots.
Let's take a picture.
And I would very much like the opportunity to scour my mind. As you know, I have eidetic memory. He doesn't. But I would like to make a really, really hard roll to see if I do remember. Because I have a mind palace, as you recall, where I still be able to track down the information if I'm allowed sufficient concentration.
Well, I'll call that a 15 then.
Okay. No, I got a 14. I don't remember what he was wearing.
But that is close enough that I'm going to say that you have not seen Benny wear hiking boots, but the shoes you have seen him wear could be around the same size as the hiking boots.
Yes. Well, now, then I now suspect that Ben knows more about this than he's letting on.
Yes, he's a suspect. He's our number one suspect.
I now believe more than ever in inviting him into our little investigation.
Well, just to make sure, I will take some photographs just for evidence, and I also will take some measurements, because we'll not only need to make our decision on what we think, but we need to prove it. So we have to show.
Obviously, of course, the measurements and the photographs go without saying. So yeah, go ahead and get those.
All right, so we're going to be getting some photographs and some measurements and whatnot, and I guess we will likely have to continue this investigation in the next episode, as we are getting to about that time, gentlemen.
About that time.
About that time.
All right, then we will see everyone next time at Owl Camp.
Only on Goonies World.